de tipo ergi de waktu ngasus malo susra ibudul maraklay marubukul belaw direk lo susra bilong ma ebi raklay mar masil belaw direk lo dar sa susrigi del mort tirakal ngara olbira kalulaw at ang aklet president rasenet del hokons paules mar senator Suroguy at ang aklet speaker ra house Sabino Anastasio mar delegate Suroguy direk malo dar sa susrigi del morar mga takle legal state government rigid rogul governors marugul adalay kalolbi la mar speakers direk malo dar siya susrigi del al total more tirigel pekkel athletes el participate ra belaw games talangaray langaringil oya nga direk langaringar ko koreng sa press conference pamadodorok raw ng total morar beklaat tilungil basul presidente le kor kamolmol mo
kuturo malungil tutaw mil total mora ibudul maraklay marubukul belaw ma pilong ma ebreklay mar masil belaw mar bekl ma taklela blur belaw mar bekl other belaw ngara al sel belaw ngara ayang al mora hotcharigi mangara klela blur belaw mal kora will sales will weather blor di ulle lang wa malung lang sunshine today kung sa tigel athletes sirgida malung lang rendir mo degal sel modod abili re lang you know last Thursday kadam lara guran del track and field del mo open games ya mal mister ngal orel tigadi do abili edriya bodam rekal modod tirana mugisen bral tom da sonex game dinira taul no giril di lak landi se habla carrengar tir ma clamaria rengar tir tial al togora klogole sel dom table wad ngirel waisen ari sel spirit tir ma clamaria rengar gidrom table wad gadamral congratulate tir ase play hard be safe mral siratang arse dire gal gadamlo rongosia miss ringil share a story ni lo say we should always aim for the sky and things can be possible at some we just have to be dedicated committed and we there are limit we congratulate them you know games amal mol just continue to play hard play safe and be good sportsmen direl elal this last week gada maya teledruk meter tigel terur tokta altira maqatatal ngar belaul in fact tiga mlegel ding arterial someday one al pulmonologist and we lo masara ma direct orthopedic surgeon in fact gadora mlani agora gada mle sodan mrenga sulele gidi milgiri nga mlele tara sera Tuesday night and dilu mot dimla rabot kalmol mogabsi so he did 4 surgeries before he left. Tirigang adong el tiga toktang ra shinkong el logi usel assistant sa abla government at Taiwan tamer belara pekara gal uk help rigid ra gid specialty sertir. Mlegir el ding arterial sanden ditial luk gorion ngari ra Taiwan et milgauder bela ma doctor mo gol ablo ase ndia mo sikro la gal mes kogir Taiwan dira el mol ngambral tirmal diruriol mol morsera time loral ngamral men asulera Dr. Huang ye ukne doctor pulmo ma Dr. Su ndem orthopedic surgeon am lartiangan they were here an extra 4 weeks and really just along se orgid la klari gel temer mo kada amren asulira sel klamri aren tir doctor wa sel gambestrige you know, self-dedication or they didn't have to work. I think they put in the time because that's their field and that's their skill and they love helping people. Sel good news ang sel weekend them sam al-back lang mal to al-back lang. Hopefully they'll be back. So otherwise I say myself flight finally no say el May. Last press conference and no say that announce I say for sure it's coming Wednesday. I mean Tuesday mle eli na mo idras era Wednesday mle eli ra as well emlo se el ngari are 29 el ngalge del mle emrus el mutel mrael 41 adim lel ke so ngari trian ngalge del milgauder se ngari are students more patients and also the moiti trian me of course gadmal mrenga sula government atayo of course tangartial el situation اللي تملا على 6 البيشنت رجيد ما اسكورت كتير المراغرود املا على رجيد رواسي قدم المول من غرسل بابو لقيت كوفيد فريم على ضد البون عند ngara quarantine mo kada mrenga sula Ministry of Health no sail vaccinated tire allow them to return mo sail they can go back to Taiwan and feel safe and that's I think good news ndiregal Ministry of Health ndiregal ndeka adan mo oit mangaria waise director share mo waise ngaria trip prigidan mora ayel migarel bulu Sonsorol, ma Pulwana, ma Hatobe, look Momrus trigger other Narayel Blue, and make sure I get the other Bella Aselba Akle, and we're safe. And I think that's always been the message we want to open with care, we need to be protected. Sula Corporation or other Abulul, make sure that Tadrus. Maybe this is a good time. The book to say. I'm gonna let share look mom director share mom saw the yel Ministry of Health but ngaria di wana comment el sugal me gari el gira la sel return ngari crab lur belal me gida da sig open with care ngaria procedures el gira del follow ngaria gir bod amen del mo help del process the one important part se say after sel require del quarantine order gira time camera testing. In fact, yiri Israel total was ngarian ngalgiat. Almrai crab lur belal me. Almrai require myself 7-day testing ertir. Edegal me. In fact, 10%. So, tamle 70 adam la last flight, 7 of them didn't show up. Mugida was a table water rogui gida magal kira al sel. Giran ngarian aleth rogui. Ya partrang aleth al sumga government on yitergit. Ese de qaldir government bulur bela on yitergal wasem release ngar alem bor hospital malsum ngari ngal game no odam modo ngalin taal emlen ngar omral reminder til wase ka yirem morates it's about keeping everybody safe. I know triade kal serem lang orusen ese luldo say why do we need to test, but it's about being responsible and so that make sure other ablam cloron understand that wase we've done everything to protect ourselves, but still, so that safe. So, will cooperation or other ablo. The regal, so the low ice was a term regal Friday, Mlo Savela, the low ice and Morablado, say ocean conference is on, and it's going to be early next year. The regal confirm was in January, February, and the I'll say the time frame. كمان معروض los de l'Oriola Mangela Secretary Climate Change Envoy Kerry, my Secretary Blinken, Emro announced and Morabula. The Oriola Montreal. It's really a partnership. La Mangela Mrigel, material betokal allies kita Taiwan, Masyabal, Norway, New Zealand, Australia, and help get us ready for this conference, and we're excited and looking forward. And more cell time will say they'll invite travel lot and merbelaw. Kita umral was a taramle vaccinating everyone. Umral was a abol el alme meragara January, February. Eng mos ilar tokal adel May. Ligita swada in person conference. I'm say gal Zuma say loro din degal salungil way sel meraf. We look forward to this coming year. Invited to tokal sel del May. And Marano highlight salute to Trela healthy ocean. So we got to talk about ocean health and ocean wealth. We know I'll share was this last weekend. Teledruk mega statement PNA conference. One of the things that I'm reminded about PNA. Seral gotel omur tel organization or bela signing a PPR, a presenter review on the presenter cell time, and he asked me Timo Omega closing remarks, and he akmal remember lo say semble moktek ra PNA o say gradar litial bod opegara Pacific look control tier tuna. From that time el mere lang cellular tiel Pacific el countries el la tuna. Mosu bisa iga wargi del off iga den wargi de diwa emla ngsedro ase emla increase sell dollar ir ara langin by 10 times. So we know lo ase conserve for the world, but at the same time ang area kadamla increases el benefit more other igal al bulura tay yung I think it's that's what it's about. It's about ocean health and ocean wealth. Lang igal kadamlo ngal tangat lida misida igal resource, how do we use them best and improve rak na other igal al bulura for so many years. Kadamlo sa igal maklol bulua ospe igal resources gida other tay dimla kadala igal niya wal bling alit. And so we have big ocean challenges, but we need to continue to work to preserve them, to protect them for the world, but also to benefit other balancing conservation with sustainability amal close to tele. Diregal part of the reorganization ra government tergid mang kada last week adam na sign at tablo executive order ngara Ministry of Finance and myself as a ministry gidra Ministry of Human Resource, Culture, Tourism and Development al silse kadam le reaksyon ra sagmo sign ra executive order ra Ministry of State aluk di mo mata sa igel sel the sel tutelel I'm happy ngartia of course a minister mar director gi maldilungil el mel sign adam Total 16. Okay, smile. Okay. Okay. Manuel Sebay kung tial kung sa Vice President lukra di mo ay serigid rigira la executive order luk highlight ay luk nga ministry ni insula
man sana Mr. President maluin total mo reklado rohoy ya ka di swakal mo ay susitirgel al gimdila al may tiragid del director so mga niya director foreign affairs director Jeffrey Antol, Director nga Director of Domestic Affairs, Director Eunice Aguiwo, yung nga Director, Acting Director of Archives, Acting Director Linda Malaytaw, Director nga manggeta Passport Administrator, Miss Us Louie. Maltmean mo nga malawra nga sula la Mr. President amulos elgut maklisel Executive Order el alsil sa reorganize na Ministry of State. Le kita matangel wasil February 17, 2021. Ya President amle sign RPPL 11-2. Sige the RPPL 11-2 amle establish Palau National Archives within Ministry of State. Mangwayal kuplel edan ratara bureau mungulgiw tegi dial Executive Order reorganize Ministry of State amlo sa al madasaygel bureau sa division sa eungela Ministry of State. Kumuulwa sige with mas aigel embassy sige balur belaw. Ngani embassy sige elang nga Washington DC rama balur Amerigel. Ngani embassy sige nga Tokyo, Japan. Embassy sige nga Taipei, Republic of China, Taiwan. Mga Manila in the Republic of Philippines. Dili ka nga embassy permanent missionary sige sa United Nations Representation Office in New York. Yung nga tablol consulate offices sergit one el nga Guam one el nga Hawaii yung tegi el reorganization and dimla office ra public defender amalmol mga yung Ministry of State yung Palau Passport Office di ala tigit sa lukoramal exciting al lultoy ra vision ra president kira la Bureau of Foreign Affairs and Trade makmalso ka tribal spend time with Italy. Akong das for the first time na mo sabi etal ko mga tmokra career diplomats. logiw tiay diel Bureau of Foreign Affairs and Trade. Sir Claude Chen sel mil katmok karingiya amloria divisions ra engwel tiay diel Bureau al by region. Mga niya a division al gukaw ngara ara a US, North, Central, and South America affairs. Matiyang mo mga ulya like bilateral relations like below, madiri kal any assistance al dola ay below. Diri kal mo niya division of Africa, Caribbean, EU, ma Eurasian affairs. Diri kal mo niya division of UN and Pacific affairs. Finally, Moria Division of East Asian Affairs. Aldo makramal meron ko presidente amlo sa elgut maklitiang mlamo sa el angal al moria expertise certifical foreign service officer sa gidra al sila kay gidel al regions al ngiam auriology way kay gidel kakarusel divisions. Mesela bolo way saying kay gidel adal nga ungel gidel division na sa elgut mo expert sa gidel area. Mang selso ko mang mo niya ako ra bilateral meetings al ube nga niya adra yagi del bulul sorry al mga a president ra Republic of Palau nga niya get top dra Bureau of Foreign Affairs niya ako while expert sa del area mo bangela president nga ra yagi del aldo. In doing that in sabi dal investor tiragi dial adadang nga ra yagi dial area and hopefully as we move along and mo sabi dal rotator tir mo niya te elil guk mo ray gidal embassy sa gidal makansalet sa gidal ngaray ay krel belaw logi way gidal expertise al blalangay et guk sabi dal tira ko rotate tirgal guk ngaray gas il guk may et ko wal sabi dal start te gidal rotation process al lomgro tir kay gidal career diplomats. Mal excited like this is a new lamo create one Bureau of Foreign Affairs and Trade yung nga the 4 divisions ring plus a division of protocol may gigi ang yung sa gigi al Bureau of Foreign Affairs and Trade. Tira nga Bureau of Domestic Affairs nga Division of State and Community Affairs, ma Division of Gender. As you also recall with the reorganization, is a Bureau of Aging, Gender, and Disability. Presidenta Angelo sele Aging, a Disability, almail more Ministry of Health and Human Services. Gender amle Ministry of State. Tegi dem lam katmok lam mga Division of Gender under Bureau of Domestic Affairs. Siya mokter niya amal mo kura while loltaw sel mainstreaming gender policy bled adaptering it at 2018. And then a Bureau of Archives and Media segi di archives mle ra Ministry of State ang lamoringi Bureau of Archives and Media ungel segi the Bureau of Archives and Media nga niya Division of Archives and Record Management mo sabi dal story gel makreo sa tiging elabalur ba like document ra government trigit since our inception in 1981. And then Division of Media and Information Services mobile more ungel segi dial archives and record management mo sa streamline ay kay dial tora media ma information services. Mong ko ram gigi dia timleswa kal highlight talgirel tiagi dial executive order that has been signed by President Whips Jr. Malora nga sulila president mo o sabi el gut maklimang mo sabi el start taurior el ang archives. Thank you, Mr. President.
Yam sula Vice President kumura se apal beto ka question or other media katabay mangwa ulawul mas kamiu ndi tigda di last meeting or ko man mo detail kasi tiga super ministers and sometimes hindi kalola ba answer rogui makti asa sumaya mal specific we may not be able to we'll try our best but also mga specific question just for future please let us know ahead of time and someone prepare answer mga question gira nga or magiram dim la kalse la minister answer because ndim la kalola ba detail at the time but akti for the future ko ka diga or say please ang open out law.
Ali. Oh, tutay president kau ma vice president mar ministers mar beklaan. Question nga kaswa kal makot te morsel emul sadar ngin mortirgel te widal ngal gal mlara at the end of the seventh day restriction of movement at tiro dem nakal test. So msel bolway segi de kom karar tirgay gidal ngal ka. Como tamat tiril me tester tir, that's one eh. And then tirgat te maklo te magagril ngal ka. Other belau ter other nga parda sulang.
Manlungi la question ter kawe kambes som one at other belau adult they didn't show up on their cell testator tilling ngiri rin malaya tool test cell return cell mer bela ngaring isegidal 7-day restriction of movement ngiri mo cell first tester tir cell day 7 cell day 14 tester tir so cell mi sa tester tir tirgayidal specifically lul sa tir president tung waya blal tamlemi sa tester tir Mangmlamo 2 times will give arrange 2 different dates for them to come in still at the miss so by law ang quarantine order till was also ka violate terms sa quarantine order rakaw and you will be fined $500 or 1 year imprisonment so trigay del other ang yung reported till mura abli la bulis and then bulis ako kruli sel kuk ngar alir but direct kal gugi tiang edik ko maklat kalwas ngaringi tirgel ku kiri del metes trak luguk tirgel me arriver sel June 11 na UA flight makmal maklat kartir lwase please merak luguk and that would be their day 7 PCR test tirigel mle sa tester tira lul sa other tira president tirigel mle sel May 31 UA flight mang several times I'll give reach out to them cook arrange sa different test date for tiring and din yetting still and that'll show up there are several things that we do every day sel during the restriction of movement period ang aring other hospital lom kotong ra I eat sel other twice a day just to monitor the tir and any development of symptoms and things like that so the day before tester tir agil mo talam ko dong tilo maklat ka tir luasyalia tester kami akluguk telal klok ang arikira pasyo please make sure kami mang agi ko dong tir every day at the same time ang lukra al sela quarantine order tir receiving sela turbelaw and then they signed acknowledgement formal wase agim la oy vital quarantine order igi understand igi acknowledge sa igal terms so it's unfortunate hindi kadal am resort del more say dal mo find na other ngiril comply with igil cook terms ra quarantine order tir laging nguk ngaringal tamalin dakal swada away gi debol guk prevent delay ra other future flights from coming in sugumar adal ngaras ko gilmi adi akal comply agil terms ra order tir ngaringal affect ring ira kuk future lomral may
Sulang director. Next question ka egor ka Mr. President. Mlaring ya tial to ra WIOA Michael refunder tir. Seludo del dobal mangat makra refund del mortigal WIOA recipient. Ang aring ya legal opinion ra Senate Legal Counsel alwasay. Se ludo da those pay erengi mangat makra refund awalo la malaralla mang dimo so alga dinga uldo siam girel seigi dem latto del legal opinion ra a Senate
dia malungil gida malumra se awala ngara check and balance ang ala orbira kolola direct question mang gida ultura minister gida finance ukultura legal opinion ngia really action ni mang pai kwate alle kuradi sate almal bolsodi
you, Kambes, for that question. I did hear about that activity with the Senate regarding their opinion on the payment or the payout. So let me just clarify, as the paper has reported that it's erroneously deducted from the holdings. So the rules that were reviewed at the time that the deductions were made under the previous government, there was allowance for deduction of taxes. Unfortunately, the interpretation was not clarified as to what type of tax, and the rule specifically references income tax. And income taxes in the United States, you claim refunds at the end of the year. So because our law is not an income tax, it's a salary and wages withholding tax, and there is no refund provision at the end of the year, the U.S. government said this is not the type of allowable deduction that's from the benefits that they were giving. Plus, it is a benefit, not a salary or wage. So that was their legal opinion. Our Attorney General agreed with that position. But with regards to the actual payout, the funding source was the Cross-Act funds. Cross-Act funds are for unemployment assistance. These payments from WIOA were unemployment assistance to beneficiaries who were Palauan. If the U.S. government did not extend the program additional months up to September, it was our plan under the Cross-Act to, and I had set aside some money to pay those beneficiaries who would be losing funding under the CARES Act. So I used that reasoning to take money out of the Cross-Act to pay the benefits that we had deducted for taxes out of during the last administration. So that was the thinking behind it. And if the congressional lawyers have an issue with that, we can discuss that between us and with our lawyers and clarify what needs to be done. Let me also just advise you, since I have the microphone, on Friday, we had paid out made those payments to the WIOA beneficiaries. We had paid out 901 people checks. 299 remain to be collected at the end of Friday, and we are dispersing those checks through the Core Treasury Office behind Civic Center. So if those people had not picked up their checks yet, they can go to Treasury and pick up their checks, those 299 people who didn't get their checks on Friday.
Eladik comment Kambes kumbra lo se asel ko toklo tutela la ayaw dudir araf el kadamna tergakil wasingri el mawlut el mortir من قدروا سيجي قدروا يقول رايل القط مكليسة يجيب قدا بايديوني ترى دور بيلو سي ملسوموني أترارا لو دعالي لو تبدي هذه تستوبري يوم دوسن هذا كان سيجي دبي قدر مغلورو الجيلو سي مالغاني أترارا المدعالي دو تبدو دو دو سوترين دي سيرغو تكلو تتل دو مراني سي زوجت مسوتريارا يجي دو مرالو سي كدور تيرا لا امرو لا يقال تقوي مبان سلام عليكم.
Mr. President, sel toira CASP audit emla tua bada reporter ngi margo mangarngi a joint resolution al introducing ya setem la passing a senate melang ara house relang el urge gaul wasay more ka daigel payment el mora ADB el borngi al dadu el mesal mal maklo obra da baby raigel el findings el sel audit mangwadi swakal di ngaw do swem gel segi dul das wasay bodore ka a payment leng ngora ter kekalurior mada adhara adia kalungil tel product la kalungil segi dawal gora agum sel resolution se agora basis se ngwadi swakal di ngaw do swem gel se
so kada rega payment el المرا ADB لان كنتلا ADB. I guess كده غير الكويشن اللي غير العسكري. ADB abang الملس كده alone. Oratela aurora agith ngarbelo. Ngora al sum gomlo nora bangeng alone. Mara ramle me un accident kam dekam hara orngin mora abang galeng foltra abang al mils kamlai. Deksan try understand ra logic marsum mral ngilul das kada al sum a folta هذا المسك وضوض agira del di kita agira del mo understand asi kita ngari ngar alet al sum kadam lo melsi del ngwa alon el ngulme agira del harauri mangada understand the sel kanchun other will be mal sum ngari a fault sel audit report was un fault tra ADB el miskit tel wضوض clearly and then I understand was ngam de agira del pay abai clo to tell was ngara del little source system el mo rio radim red Así abai gira del canción y la manera así abai ba dirga kana halfway ma msila dirga kan by the help rap you see kutum play audio mal bolung la source system rigi da gira abai let's work on that elen I understand so the bol da hara bel sed ndi ada will practice mo da sed un excel loan sula
Iti kita apa last ko lo amo last ko questioner ngak to ko ra housing ngarngi sel National Housing Commission so kumda sing angara ministry ra MHRCTD understanding nga ka kasi serabol mrexel sel $15 million sel dingilu loan abladungu disperse ngi el mortgage first time home owners mar displaced my understanding ra report ra Claire Harvey ra at one time mo albi ako sing ngani 51 or 59 el blay ngara pipeline and din tikiyat ya ludo magari kawase segi the program na National Housing Commission kardir kam ngatmak kol kora malamol marangi al ubangani au korangot al ngeso al sugu mangani au doswed al girla tirigay gital adal koram lo apply mangira angeso sulang.
So just to give update regarding sel tora Palau housing America Tel Housing Commission. Say they getting other Belau, Alua loan. Say loan el national government get the other Belau rogo amo mangkadering. Egel udo da dingira el masa NDVP ma Palau housing etira loan out egel. Kita amdeno se kita adekal se di malmol maldi polisi ba blal sen muraqabalment. El government tangaria maximum el LD malal me so se wal grant le yun masa NDVP ang government rebela mo mal sini mga kumara lo sing amring ri dal mutulo mal siri del el government o mal siri lom saudo da let's say NDVP or Palau housing abay gira do message no se mga hel NDVP el ukti tilo mal sirtir nga extra ludo del el mru legal housing program el yeah so ada masabeda gira del mo balance just to keep the economy going kada mlamal si the ADB nos pay alone all time to keep things going so gira del I think gira del mo blagata kamor other ablung mo gira del continue lo sigaw do mo NDVP ending no mo amo dekal gift el dimo tira gira del helper tils migaw do lo tural so there was two ways to do that one NDVP at top the loan get another loan I say liwat ya loan ni na government. Another option, sel dulcado before was a bolsil accept deposits, mara depositors laudo the bolsil loan out. So I get the two rala do ro mga NDVP lo ase mga sa el motor amred mara adal sil tiyan nga pipeline bolsil malanon. But I get rate el bled give out before unless there's free money and what NDVP adal sil malmol mga get the rate. I don't know if you saw early in the year, I'm not getting other NDVP, or other Palau housing and Melo. Mangarila Udodora, a government. Already the Lam Street Teludo, the Tiran Mutter Marila Bepilma. Doesn't make any sense to me. So I get the Gira del Magatakle by the helper tills, Miss Trier, material by MCC, the till loan out of Rosiga funding, Bolsil improve I got program material or other. So, Sudan will get.
I guess I guess malungil to ta president I guess ang open na wala marugol question so ako to question na mora I guess ko ra ka wedi na kalmora share el base sel last press conference ko mo ra milsa dara se ko change ra se requirement quarantine certificate seng dir ka malmol ma do me septol atal na mo na vaccinated el auxoril me setara kora obstacle dir ka bolo kotruringi pam answer se and then the next question
Ya, sulang Bram lagi kalau mau video awal mora share mau update girel say, bail update the whole process.
Thank you, Lay. Haledik gora provide just a little updates ra teletele la SL directive. Al mo replace cell current directive 13-21. Mangdiaka mal there are some changes that are going to be made. As you know, once the outreach ra 99.7% ra a vaccination rate ra adult population. So I think we're safe among lamogira del guk omisa baby like restrictions rigi they could change el mo atter el situation rigi de rabelao. So I gel more changes el mo mursel el directive mo el all time kada restriction of movement rigi da 7 days kada mo reduce ringil mo 5 days. Entry requirement tadirko CC, you are still required to provide a proof of your vaccine with their second dose taken at least 14 days prior to your departure. We are still requiring a negative PCR test, but this time around, they expand their testing platform again. So still in PCR platform, and they expand the most of it accept the baby specimen. And I know once I say mal kora issue regal previous flight like mal dim restricted ngil mo o di accept nasopharyngeal mo oral pharyngeal, but this time around like mo expanding mo into the nasal ma direct cell multiperinatal type of specimen more options are other cell lola PCR testing mo de alsal Laura complicated with the last time. I wanted just to announce that the law expand testing regidel mo include all other other foral specimen type which is also recommended by CDC. Mang segi di kada mo reduce cell restriction of movement from 7 and mo 5 days. Kada di mo tester cell day 5 and mo eliminator cell day 14 test. Lel all time kada mrura day 5 ma day 14 test. As I said ang kadora am now reached at a certain level of vaccine rate rigid mang sabedal ko kami sa gigidal restrictions rigid ko olang direct tirigel ngalakal under 3 years old who are traveling and met pura belaw mo exempt from a PCR test. Same naman na requirement na reform tolo ya di nomala a PCR test emet po mel akada mo rulil wasel so kung mga laka under 3 yung exempt from that requirement. The other thing is this summer kada almost tatal kada mo roll out ra kuk vaccine rigidal gira adolescent age group which is age is 12 almora 17 mang kada di mingila EUA 12 del gira la kuk paternal gira larangal and then kada start roll out and hopefully within next month in to the EUA makada kuk start almrusra rangal between age 12 to 17. All time cell maternal do bang akuk 18 and above misel guk mo EUL bol issuing FDA akuk mo o target territorial age group ra 12 almost 17 misel guk ta segi dia akuk direct kalmo wan ra altur cell directive wasing 12 almost 17 na direct kalmo or require tiram Brussels level 2. The as of now, minors are traveling in Pura Belao, they are severely exempted from vaccine as long as they're traveling with vaccinated parents. And then there was a requirement that Metpu ang girem will provide a negative test result a vaccine proof of vaccine. Also kung makamla ko before Metpu Belao we could provide a proof recovery document certified by your physician. It was saying yes, kamaral mleko before hindi kamla recover lang. Sometimes they go recover and then several months later and it still show up on your test Weigel historical case. So that's going to be another requirement sugum kamla talm COVID emiso isa berbela ang gire bang a documental approval was kamla recover. I can give you all major changes in more as a directive. President, if
maybe I can just add a little bit. Umaral wase sel mal mokte kargi da trial memurur te del QC system el mo bayot ma tial QC actually sel system relalnya arada contactor olgri le ma Ministry of Finance el malak clearance mangara se after te del June 20 flight se momtro modia why say lengara ula modia قدموا follow السير system رام ريجر all time الغري list ريجل requirements so يجي the requirements يجي the واسه نجير low vaccine أشوم adult نجير نعمل PCR test within 72 hours and the same types of test ال CDC أو SPE مو على airline الشغرة other say يجي ده وقتي verify سير بربلا trying to ease up the process and more responsibility sa airline will check guidelines are clear they follow and then the check take the 20 alas the gora clearance ra already ma Ministry of Finance after saying mo the adangar alel so mamo da already help program make sure kam nang write the test sige da gira da mo understanding ngar alem laqalt mo over airport reject the airline and gaul dim la kam follow igel la ngari I say you should know what is required the way show up on airport malaka mo mondar other skogi mangara that's part of the kada shift the responsibility kung sa Ministry of Finance amral patient nga ada angara deng wago le betoka aigang to ay sana ko 3 days before al to sales ko yen dega liwir le tiadia di mangalkal dengwa mga trial al balance ay aktir ang mga sing sebakring artir we ask people to say follow the guidelines work with the airline and don't be surprised over airport that something lang mo tirak laige airline will say no because there's so you need to be responsible di why sell burger gather bela do say your mo test you need to be responsible. Some things that we've also learned CDC guidelines other male vaccinated CDC doesn't test them anymore but part the opening with care we test I say so that's an extra layer that we're doing just for our own security ma safety that's why we do it because director open with care direct giran mokpero sa sila lamera de mal direct manuela yel CDC guidelines ang maloliso sa summa vaccinated ang activity appropriate ng radia so I think they're going to work on making clear diagrams maradal may clear was ang activities in room madia because one of the things that's what they're clarifying is al summa tourist temer bela kera pandemic certified hotel and mora alba bengara that's okay then follow the guidelines and blada specify. In fact, the moment I'm reading all time, traveling is back to normal. A stadium, amura, adaling, they're vaccinated. That's the concept. That's why we all got vaccinated. And I know was saying, we have to thank them for that. And educate our other COVID, may get risk of COVID. Hindi, kailangan give them understand say we've been vaccinated, we're prepared. But we're still opening with care and we're requiring tests before they leave and then we're requiring tests while they're here and we're still restricting our movement because we want to be careful. Mang kadamaral mga sudah ada blue ara sel le clamaria dengan tiran mamrus kata kalmo. So sulang Mr.
Mang just very clearly el article adal sorry el merbelar after June 20 ana mo dakal el borsel website el apply quarantine certificate dati mo tirak like el ngaring guidelines sa
The new
airline.
process should have already kicked in after June 20 mga airline mo screen as the president said.
And then some of the things that help our process ela sela berbelaw ang area briefing kata sida dong sign. So one of the things that doru ringi director can share sel besel former gid the fill out the role information sel back of sign sel mal mo blakatak sel sa lang mo tirak la final ka 500 tala per day plus mo sa mo bus. You know, those are the things that are going to be clear. So you sign مثلا مجرد قضية turn over سل بلامساني أو إذا evidence راسه كمله vaccinated أجيد negative PCR test so those are the things that so we don't have to hold them we know last flight almost 2 hours at the whole airport brief for them karena أجيد that trial speed up our process and help convenience other but that means Adam has to be more responsible so kita we sell form bomodangli wase assume they come show up you want to get fined kita hari possibility kamo kalbus up to 1 year so
Okay, madalas a question transfer at tel ol ko yung mora sa toy. Temora tigil tel bes el executive order el mora foreign affairs mora ministry of state mention vice president lo asem la moni kay kidal kan 4 different regions under ngora amlaringi ra other nga sede president ra alele lo ase atara tokol bodoru ringi al amo malasam el kora wada kata presenza kita igal ang economy kita el time el wal kora mal tight mang tiagi el policy expand igal region ang yang kora specifically to build career diplomats alubeng policy otia position rebela ginela kukusangnya deragal diplomatic relations ang kita blula. Sila ko natin more of policy question.
Carla Oscar Vice President.
Malmasal Mr. Clara Ungilger. Sel tokora wase tokora ikanamais kita sel milsang alwasem le close sel office ra ay gagita le Fiji. Le close office ra gagita le Saibal. Igel tul maiyo igel mangwaya to koramlo cut down na cost diesel tegidel divide up aiga divisions and mo concentrate mo focus ra a specific regions akot the builder tegidel capacity tirkal foreign service officers lorior ilang waya the start al malisi tegidel Aldumaqas career diplomat masbiir ke then president sabi elo Mr. Tire ko ka either appoint them to become ambassadors al ubet ko ka appointed tiral moragel office assigner tiral moragel office rigidal nga raikel belaw minsil go gawdior let's say the first secretary ta mangaringi segi di labor ay gigidal office lang within the region at wal kora ngaringa cloud ng tira segi dia memoria expertise rigid kita mal gagrel below kita sa lila 93 countries kita member at global community la the member UN mangira dal be able to say dal kulkuring capacity building ma at makasal adin ding mo sa ela imol adal kukongra say the region mo expert regel balul nga alsel say the regional nga ni just for example, Selmo East Asian Affairs, se would be handling Japan, South Korea, Taiwan, ngayel kuknya $, say ma akura policy issues, makura bilateral relationships, tuwal bol nga rin ako kura wal masisi al mol at kladang tiril kirel mang civil advice ra president ma ministers kel cook issues that antu para ay tiel balo. Sige ako ramle national allow the president also to add on.
I think a question so are we expanding? It's about organization and trying to make it more efficient. Hindi necessarily kada edrarat kada di mo ba awrein mo blakta ko setida special tier ka or alsel obis lang to hopefully make it more efficient and more responsive. Sige da ako lang mo. And then hopefully for example so ngari embassy ra siabal uk na maswal return ngel uk staff ng RC ngel artel uk special sa siabal sa elmo. So we have that integration and that ganang Taiwan same thing. Andi ko lukura ambassador and ngel ngari or ambassador. We need to encourage that process to work. Help para specialize mo familiar mo. We can be more effective ra ura ra below. Yeah.
Okay. So if I may, Mr. President, answer question that you raised. Actually, so edal dinakal was dinakal incentive dinakal foreign service officers to become expert into mo ngari segi del incentive to learn more and become better at the regions that they're handling. So,
Wiltuta, Mr. President. Tiang follow up mora Director Madraisaw. Sebe ngani atuan merak na single second historical case ner belaw. Olgom law ay sermi kung dimla katalbot se ray krel belaw. Seng meral toy malumendia.
Why say meral when askal waseng mlaring akal lagobi then indilul waseng diak. So man sabi ala adal COVID ding diak symptoms ringi mandakal bol get tested, madakal bol awgrul, mandakal ding ilwasing COVID. So that could be the case. So moving forward, one of the questions earlier as ako sa directive akwasing one requirement ta adagirel sugumum la COVID and provider approve a recovery document signed by physician. So that's one of the requirements to give masker travelers sa global metmal sugum tamla COVID they recover. So it is a historical case. The test show wasing historical. So like I said, al tang amral mle COVID, ndim la kala ngaringa symptoms ringi, mendim la kal goket bolo la ya test bolo ningil wasing positive, or ngaringa symptoms ending appear lukora symptoms ratretre maat omda solwasing aktisme ratretre emongil. So it's possible mle waisel mle COVID ndim la kala get tested mendim la kalo dengay.
Sula Director, ngani ay sel direkal melkwak na setial. Ngani baby rablu del accepted del test result ra CPR el dobang. Lindia ka certified del adult civil administered tiagiden el dobang. Seng meral tokoy malubendia.
So a PCR tester kita dobang and it's not so much certial masiling, it's a lab kita diagal CLIA certified. So kuktora tele la labing ngaringa igel de dulwas ngaringa certification el wuraka our lab folder a different category ra kuk tele la certification ra lab. So I'll use Hawaii as an example. Hawaii adi accept a lab a test result from certain lab long model wasing testing partners. El trigay the lab ablal certified el CLIA certified. Mang ngaringa ongoing communication ma office ra president ma Hawaii excuse me, اللوريو لبنجلا حوال واسن مغراني بول سبرير الأكسبتا أيجي التست ريسالت ترجيد السينسين على برجيد هذه قاعدة with the clear certified at this point but ako ang akti aware Hawaii as of now rest accept ay PCR test talgida manula.
So la director tigda mutulwana. Kadgora isaiga restrictions gida start June 20. Tangani arado loget la sega gida CPR test result el dollar Michael Carter gid. Acceptable el dospel mosois para baby rablu. Egan direct approved la WHO. Del deal CDC rablu ramriken.
Ngoy say so ay el test talgida amru la ay PCR is universally accepted as the golden standard del platform ra testing. Ay el vaccine el kita ospe el vaccine ra at ay el vaccine el already FDA approved e direct el WHO mang approve ay el vaccine. So a vaccine el dobang a Moderna mang say worldwide the Moderna is accepted by and has been approved by FDA and WHO.
So la director, Mr. President, hubiera aporte del ministro se tengaría. Mr. President, kaman sulang aktireng sulgo kumlo visitor hospital tanom regelwik.
I see.
Tengaría radan mal sorir el coroniter gao. Mo sincia ngira ite Dr. Victoriano. Agora consultant del COVID-19 arbelao. Coroniter gao na sendat sabemel. El coroniter ngin bol sabel direct el coranga contract lo seora toktang hotel lo hospital lo mesar adasmer e dagal dini abol sebel el mukatmok lo sisiulongit el mora senator Cuartey ma direct el Dr. Roberts
Detila agora malungin uldaso ditiga already ngari clinic ertir mga gira del respect to hasing ulang ngari clinic ertir sorry private but of course ande kal stop rigid mo ask ertir na umra lo ase tirgal sumari patient ertir mo ni mun chill el help ertir ngal say that's the current procedure ande kal stop ertir ding appointment through their private clinic tira omgar tira bolseren sir kantil omgar tira di se lo ase the mo employer hospital Vatigal restaurant toktok hospital awa direct askertir of course instead of askertir
then gora di consultant gora advisory level
there el time doctoriano already advisory git
wow
se ngaria contracting lo ngel hospital maul ga doblo los peni la advisory git especially ter to covid ma se director share share
Dr. Riano applied the contractor last year with the funding support from CDC, el Gukora consultant for public health in matters of COVID-19. So say akuk scope ra current contractor ng public health.
Di COVID related and digal baby ra se el morara hospital adiak.
Why say funding ra kama le kukti allow ra that particular scope of services al sa pamamal los pe auto contracting dala for direct care.
Sula director Maray sawi. Mr. President, ngari radal gor ogerelen. Teriran sa sira campaign. El malgol motel fire division ra Bureau of Public Safety obo presidente como rulin mo tara bureau malwen mo independent ra a Bureau of Public Safety. Es el transition committee a requerire la recommendation lo tire cleo se siulo dasu. El time el gondirga am katmok el girel. En ania acting fire chief el gon maldaga skills ngi ma training ngi. El mlama mo girel aga gidulure da fire and rescue. Ngara ko el swim el girel se.
Diang otro le tia el ministerio tia ora public safety. Partria loss and fire and rescue. Agida of course in area plan agida lo ministry and how do we make it more effective and more efficient and meet the needs ara mang krugu Thursday gadmo swearing ngel el vessel mochibra fire. And I think always that's been the problem past the issue was area funding la tora fire in moratara area. That's really where the issue lies. So how do we make sure that happens? How do we coordinate? How do we make sure priority fire and what's the best way of doing that? And say the one mesri magada convenir gadam start first process which was namo di one BPS namo da tablo bureau al CLC and gadriga lo mesr marine law ma fish and wildlife ma fire tell arangale lo say how do we make it operate better. So diri ngara omsu di for now mo achieve Friday swearing in a Friday I mean Thursday namo da sing oingara al CLC oingara klugu
Msula presidente te la orense elam te la mangom sig de serela. Msula Mr. Presidente te amora minister matul ma minister udui ma minister obia. A minister obia nga ungra facility lo tira ke service reorganization. A minister udui ungra robisa immigration. Minister matulong ra robisa labor. Tangari ada lo ngit mabul sebir e bole sa sel parking lot sel facility ngarar para civic center. Misel parking ra driver amdala emergency hospital. Le ulgom halmering obom siswer ngirela. Ulgon de lul e duuda e muyaral merngir parking lot. Tadi sogi logerek mu Tokurang ada es el ministerio se me había llegado al mortir man. De lo de punta el ministerio a bloguear en el moquire la.
Thank you, Sadoy. Our management at the ministry is aware of that issue behind Civic Center, and we're planning now to do the improvements to the parking area.
Tiagid al amaw labong al Greek. Ang mora acting director Ralul Bureau of Marine Resources. Asumo ma lui el kopsing el albuil. Kam ko natin kita update last tang atta ko ram le brief frigi tele la waseng la monia buyer and dia ke makukora oseng del gire la sumun dia ka buyer.
Sulang e kambese seguidel amnamo potong top tar press conference o iso sendia ka buyer ndire ka buyer ambes di malmol mo penas mumra sel time el blel declare presidente el June 20 el mora July 17 ya ultirak lagi rogol ul maigel size ringi maigel restricted el pasio da se de brasumri el mora local use local consumption ma ada civil mo mala melate el umagit ta mangang ta maigal shell samos el local un dingara local buyer malubeng ngari adrom arba sela blue es el omar seguida agora update asemu me tel suma di waigar rogul fisheries el sel open en allow da ngidil adelmo malail me waigal tamagay mo tiaw sel bonia seasonal fisheries egitel mo declaring June 20 el mo July 17 so 3 weeks a open season mo sabi del mo harvest asemu me ultra local sale ang trade.
Sebab kukse kita lah mga asmare lah kamam ka kamarulo magay kabe kan me mengudul mengir sel palung la market te ultra.
Oi, ti amal sebab kara mo ko miruti aigid mle ngai tigel adra local me contract utam mle omar. Revelaw kipraigal buat port ma tro aregal blue ngara mo do mesa tokoletigal bayra selemete de olom artificial. Saya beroldo si adro si arengilen dia kamal kapasiti gido artificial berurungi makadar olong saya otru ma makadam la berurungi sabel makadar other book sorry murut agi da sabel man me clean emergo sabel murud mo oigal hendi ko igal finished product untang tem kara mal mora PBA ultra igal shell mai bengigel igal clean tama sing sabel mal sabel mukmok.
I think Naria buyer, the proposal of a buyer 50 cents a pound. Gida Naria saying 2 parts of tialla. Of course, gida open. Then they require all be regular girel approved as export rangal samum. In consultation of Miguel leadership, I think clearly Allah kan ngara $15 more bab. Then they also export the akal and they can fail more gida other belau. So gida really that's why even Miguel buyer alsum they can sell alsum arare they sell export ring ngara bulugun. That's why we have to be together black taklo say unless a price are more seldom. That's what and gida they are saying because limited our buyers like close abalwat. Maybe by next year ang move to our buyers. Sige da, they can say the wrong message. The Weiger blada dong. Amra together by review tella. Was a mga rule by finished product the export. Bible open or a time. Kaya say la Mr. Sado ala mo sa el marabtokal sa mumuling malmabutok available. Okay. Sura.
Sula Mr. Presidente, me vai dolit, malagdo luto mo sa other angudal blue. Letial sumuma sabel maula employment. Emaul en dal lutel mori across act emaul dam lutel har radlo rio government yang hanamo kloa employment government etanga soel tara mo source employment mo adabela sula Mr. Presidente dorang la tu hospital le cover sisel rio hospital sel medical ward ni amlem fulla better near eli es el CT scan من direct الكرة البيبي لا تايم يمرور البيبي لنديا نسبهم الكرة دي update سلودا سلجيرة لا MRI كناسين مانغرا وريور الكيرل.
So بتوقع a project مرة لا قطروا لقدام مرور سل additional المضاعفين step down facility سيبنا عمره قابيدري موسطة construction hopefully say by January لقدام نغلي تيجي the problem الممسك ده وورد so say already on track هذه رجال بلا ضروري نطو دابيد هذه رجال جيل بس CT scan 128 slice currently we're only at 16 so that means if man fine ما MRI لو بنجن so هذا رجال مليمتر ترى other hospital ومسرع location اللي بورين سيمون hopefully di momre del todo la vida mo la contraction ligre la gel teblo to so by next year gata sel di el sil sing mori di already namu la ro giren sulang ra gere dire gal medio sa tara macro problem ra hospital the air condition so we're looking at different ways of solving the air condition problem hospital maybe namu get by separate room and more split type gel baby we know losing bring our patient so now reminder get a parking that from the emergency room kunitra minister MPIM la asraba adraba bikro border ir I say and the maral why say malas malangara hospital at least once a day no meser tire helper tire to tire la sura
I got the Karen Arabalul me. I guess tell one the Karila Tara than Mablul me, I say, the Galangar Umaral me. sel almer tok mo email ay kel information almera almetyang mat email alme kom lumutlo ker tira official information tamal frustrated and I guess it commitela sa QC mo dekal apply ra next after the next flight so di sige ko ra complain na bebra nga plo say o ask ka magi-email ay garo ko document ko kimi ko mor ka mamara airport tel mutar ask ka mamara official information so
I say
sige da ko ra
amle a lot of the questions and other issues amle lab results at as I said, there was a type of specimen able to accept, and then moving forward, then we're going to accept all other other specimen type as long as PCR platform. So that's gonna take care of that issue. And then as the president saying, airline na mo screen na game QC mo mga so mo spelled out the also lab SL directive, so that will should be able to help para
kora ti adrabulul mal kora pakikula kora mal concern waseng lang mas ara la luol mo claim klo kung mal marang latir ngara kora the swim mal kira la ngesol mora coming from the community.
Kita mal understand the telara alu ado dangalil up and down. Mule $5 mo $3 lang lumutan ma $5. Mang umra lo se kita dim dangalia albulel belaw. Mang gabay gira dro gira lo se mura dolang sa udu dirarat. So I think albira ko am lamura process and introduce a minimum wage. Umra lo se albira ko did their part and make sure ok retirees ang ari ang esol mortir. Ngadi tigel bring lo lang we need to dolang sa udu dir so Todo plus other albira ko lo tiga ko obe ser la lengara udolir continue lo gigel. Kita dah saya control alu, belum ada control. Habis ada control ni, saya mau ada lalu tiap makara mau nak udur. Dari kamu ask habis el minister lo, saya kamu mau ada olbil, musik lo saya makara help pertir. Ngaral daerah lo spend make a will decision. Ada, sudah. Yang wa malungil goltal less than 1 hour and a half. Adi lungil the amo lungil ada bora update last announcement tergi da gotru le kada mal sodal congratulate uk aget togubet sel sir uk na muatararak. And we should always be grateful for every year of life that we get. Special happy birthday mora Surangel Mayor gangara Bureau of Marine Resource. Diregal happy birthday mora Pualani Pedro gangara Public Work. Ma Kayla Colden gangara PNA Palau National Aviation Authority. Happy birthday to them. We wish them the best ter togobet since metege rogul ukmlani birthday tir al week. Oman msulang, do solo mo kantatra normal mo kantatra bulwad ma kidro gui ma next Wednesday msulang.